Buenas. Whew, I feel warm already. And I have the AC on. Start. Buenas. Buenos dias. I know it's Greta. Ugh. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am here. I am showing up, and I'm glad those of you who are here are showing up with me. Today, I think I want to go a little bit higher intensity. And I was bad again yesterday. You know, I need to remember when I was at my best, in my best shape, I ate once a day. And then if I was hungry, like late in the evening, I would I would just have a piece of fruit, which is what I need to do. But yesterday, I was looking in the fridge and there was a bag of oats, and I put some a little bit of brown sugar in it, and I ate it. No bueno, because yesterday I said to myself, I'm going to boycott gluten because I realized I probably have a gluten sensitivity. The other day, let's say the day before, what did I have? Oh, the rest of the pita. And in the morning, my belly was, I really, really get bloated. And you know how you could tap your belly and know if you have a lot of air? Yeah, it was, we call that tympanic. So, all right, so I don't have anything like that in the fridge. No bread, no pita, no corn, nothing. Oh my God. The struggle is real, you guys. I'm telling you. So I decided, I think, what I'm going to do is just make veggie balls, veggie patties, because I'm going to have two types of beans, which is what I had when I made them last weekend. And then the peppers, but the oat, I have to leave that out. And just have veggie balls and veggie burgers, and then, do the sides. So in the veggie burgers, I put beans. I can do squash because I absolutely love squash. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. And then veggies. And then have fruit. I did have some pineapple yesterday. But let's say I didn't have any veggie burgers and I didn't cook. So I had the oats late. Then during the day, what did I have? Oh, I had some boiled eggs. Um, when I boil eggs, I don't like the yolk. I don't know why. It just grosses me out. So I usually have the egg white. Now I heard someone say, if you really want to have the full protein from a egg, you have to eat the yolk. You have to eat the whole egg. So so keep moving. And so I think that's what I'm gonna do. And so the vegetables, if I make the ratatouille, well, this weekend I did a poll, and people want me to make the Mediterranean chickpea salad. And then I thought I would make a small frittata. And I'm gonna get maybe one potato, slice it well thin, and to make the crust, because that's our frittata. Frittatas don't have any flour base. And flour is something that I'm gonna have to stay away from totally. Good morning, Greta. So that's the plan, to combat, have to get rid of this because it loves me and I don't love it. I don't know why it loves me. All right, I'm always doing the core. And remember what I said about spot reducing? You can't look at a spot. You can tighten your arm, tighten your legs, and as you're working your legs, you are going to burn some of that under layer of fat. Because what happens when you fast or when you don't eat a lot, you know, I used to always say, in nursing, we have what we call intake and output, right? What you take in and what you put out. So the amount of fluid that you drink or food you eat and what you put out. When you go to menopause, your estrogen levels drop. So you're not able to burn as many calories as we used to. So, ooh, ooh, whew, really good. Warming up nice. So the idea is for you to take in less calories because you are burning less calories, right? So we're not burning. I always look lopsided on the screen. You're not burning because your metabolism is slowed, but you continue taking the same amount of calories, or you take more calories. Because like I said, I don't know about you, but I don't have the low appetite thing that I used to read about. As you get older, you eat less. Good morning, Madiwa. You didn't go walking, girl, or you already back? Okay. All right. Like I said, today I think I want to do yesterday or the day before. We just, stretched and stuff. So today we want to go full throttle, right? All right. I want to start with some kicks. 2, 3, 4. Remember, be careful with this one so you don't hurt your back. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I think I did 20 before. So, doing 30 now. That's good. Catch your breath. We're going to keep our heart rate up today. All right? Keep moving. This is a nice recovery move. All right? So, now we're going to do the cross. 1, 2, but I'm going to put a little jump in it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 1, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Woo! How many did you do? That is a cardio workout. Catch your breath. Okay? I remember doing some of the videos, and then they're like, okay, you rested enough. I'm a senior, so I'm gonna make sure I catch my breath. Enough. Okay? Are you doing it? Remember, you're not competing with anyone. Yeah. So intake and output. So I also read this trainer said, as you get older, you need to eat less and exercise more. So if you think in terms of physics in your head, what goes in and what you're expending in terms of activities and burning of calories. So try to consciously eat less. And I was telling you, I don't know if I did, this judge who was obese, I remember seeing him. Because, if you're a judge, you have a sedentary job. You're in that seat all day. And again, think about the kind of work that you do and your level of activity. So he said he had tried everything, gone to the gym, hired a trainer. The yo-yo, you lose it, then you gain it back, plus a little more. That is what is so mentally discouraging for most of us. So he said the only thing that worked for him, he developed the habit, maybe somebody coached him, of eating half of whatever is on his plate, wherever he goes. Whether he goes to a restaurant, whether he's sitting at home. And I think, was it Marvina who was saying that too? When the food comes, the psychological thing that we have to clean our plate. Our moms did that to us, didn't she? Remember the little kids in Africa? Finish your food, finish your food. You're not getting off the table until you finish your food. So now we finish our food and then some, and we have dessert. Well, I'm not a dessert person, so I'm safe on that. So that's what he said he did. And then he said, when he did that, that's what made the weight start to fall off. So just remember to look at your plate, portion size. You've heard that. We don't need the portions that we eat, especially in America. If you go other places, they do not eat that much. Well, I take that back for my Haitian people. We eat, and our plates are always full, especially that rice. So it's a mindset, and you have to be conscious. Like for me, my struggle is other carbs. I admit it, and now because in my later years, I'm developing more of a sensitivity. So that's my battle. And I think I'm going to be battling it till the day I know. Oh my God. Woo. How many is that? You see, I put a little jump in it that aggravates the movement and gives me a good cardio workout. My heart is pumping. You hear me? Woo. All right. Ooh, I love it. Thank you, Lord, for waking me up and letting me be able to move all my joints. I'm in my right mind. I know my name. Oops. I know who I am. That is a blessing. At our age, it's a blessing. Yes, I still struggle remembering names of things. I could be looking at something, I know what it is, but the name doesn't come to me just like that, like it used to. So I'm paying attention because sometimes it comes to me in a few seconds, sometimes more than a few seconds, especially like the name of an actor or actress, I'll look and I'm like, I know who she is, but I can't remember. But the next day, it was like, boom, all of a sudden the synapses connect up here. So I say to myself, okay, you don't remember the name, but at least you know you recognize the person. Because in dementia, you're not making the connection at all. That memory is erased. And that's the danger. And that's what's the scariest thing. When you look at someone and you're like, who the hell are you? They don't remember their children, their grandkids. That's when the dementia is getting advanced. Okay? I put my keys in the same place every day, so I'm not likely to misplace it unless I forget to put it there. I have not been putting things in the wrong places, like finding your key in the freezer or putting your shoe in the trash or wearing mismatching clothes. I think that's what I'm going to do our next monthly meeting for SWRA. I'm going to talk about dementia because the fear of dementia in your older years is the scariest thing. Good morning, Denise. It's the scariest thing. Just like I said, I don't think people worry about, losing function, mobility, but this is a scary thing. Because you feel like you can handle almost everything, right? But when your mind is not working, I don't know if I told the ladies, there's a gentleman here in Panama City, in one of the Corregimientos neighborhoods, that had been missing for 7 days. And they had woods close to where he lives. I mean, I knew, I'm a dementia trainer, I knew what it was, even though some people don't know to call it that. When I was in Africa, in South Africa, there was a place they asked me to go to do some teaching because they said that the people in that community do not understand what dementia is. So when a senior person starts walking around wandering, you know, looking dazed and not knowing their names or where they live, they assume these people are turning to becoming a witch. Oh my God, that was so scary. So they say sometimes they throw things at them, they hit them, and imagine somebody is sick. Dementia is a physiological disease of the brain. It's not a psychological issue. They're not crazy, but there is things that are happening in the brain to cause people to forget and dissociate, right? So I had to go in there and tell the population, no, 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 no. They're not witches. Don't stone them. Don't do anything like that because they're just sick. Oh my word. That is some scary stuff, you know? Dementia is bad enough. For someone to believe that you are a witch because you're acting out of sort, that's scary. Whew. All right, this is good. So we did the lateral, we did the top. So we're gonna do some leg raises, and then we'll go do our squats. Those squats are excellent. If you don't do anything, do the squats. And today I want to do the sit to stand because I think we've been missing them for the last couple of days. Whew. Okay. So, yeah, dementia. I think that's going to be the topic for this year. I have some other topics. Last time we talked about emergency management. Not this week, but next week. I want to get my emergency bag done so that I can show the ladies what you put in your emergency bag as we create our emergency plan. All right, let's see. All right, let's do some of our trusted You have your feet like that. That's gonna help this and the quads. Yeah, ignorance is not bliss, and ignorance can be dangerous. But you watch the movies, how they used to burn people at the stakes, thinking that they were witches. People fear what they don't know, okay? And that's why you need information. Now, I know I've been, the whole situation at home really has been weighing heavy on my heart. And I am someone who is a very positive person. I'm not hopeless by any means, but the wondering of where we're heading, what kind of world we're living for our kids, yes, that's been weighing on me. But intellectually, I know it's not my problem. I didn't create it. I know some people say we deserve what we're getting. Yes, whatever. But I did not I did not take part in it. And we're all suffering and dreading what's coming. But I can't put my head in the sand and pretend it's not happening. Ow, ow, ow. Whew. All right, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Oh, this goes in, hopefully. Ow, 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 ow. Ooh. Wow. Now let's loosen it. Those quads. And let me tell you, you're gonna see these muscles reshaping if you're diligent about doing them every day. Do those squats every day. Whew. Now, remember that guy? You see him going way down and going 1, 2, 3. I think I do 10. And then he's way on the floor. I got to protect my knees. We're going to do some, but I'm never thinking that I'm going to go way down, okay? Well, that's more than I thought I could do. Dean, that guy is out here. And I'm like, what in the hell is that? What a man, okay? And now I think he's going somewhere like in Africa where the ladies are already well endowed and they're doing this thing, going down. Supposedly, it's going to pump your booty. I don't know. That's not my goal. At this age, who am I going to impress? But the booty thing is not limited to black people, okay? A lot of other people love booties. I don't know if it's just the touching, whatever it is. And the BBL. Did you guys see this guy who said they smell? I was like, ooh, what do you mean? Whew. Lord Jesus, help us. So now you're going to put your feet together and then you're going to squat. 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, protect your knees. 7, 8. They say your knees shouldn't go over your toes. Well, mine are over my toes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now that's good for the booty. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Ow. Oh. Okay. The straight ones, I can only do 20. I don't know how many you can. I can do a lot more with my legs like that, my feet like that. Whew. Wow. This is good. Let's see. Oh, 23 minutes already. Okay. All right. This is good. Good, ladies. Thank you so much for joining me. All right, this one, as I told you, I discovered it. Well, I've been doing it, but it's really good for your core and your size and my rings that refuse to leave me. But I'm not gonna go under the knife. No, siree. I'm not that vain. And I see people wearing these, what do you call those waist thing? When I remove it, everything's gonna go down anyway. Gravity doesn't care. You know, that's why people who would have to have the breast lift, the bladder lift, the butt injection, and you're trying to hold those muscles, get rid of the fat, and then tighten the muscle. Because the muscles are under that thick layer of fat. All right, let's do sit to stand. Now, just like I asked you to do the squats, even when you're not thinking about it, every day try to do some of these, okay? Because that definitely improves your stability. And I guess, like I told you, when you go see a geriatrician, which is a person, a doctor who specializes in aging, and I asked around, like I said, I haven't seen anybody, well, I just see one doctor who said that they specialize in aging because that is a specialty. Let's do some of these. That is a specialty, right, in the States. But I was scrolling through, I want to say Hospital Santa Fe. They have a picture of their staff, and there was one doctor, they call it geriatrician. So I wanted to follow up with him. Maybe I'll try to go in and see him and ask him, what he can offer our people, those of us who are getting old here, because we don't have families to take care of us, okay? So we're gonna have to take care of each other. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, that one is like the joint, the hip joint. All right, sit to stand coming up. Again, I think the doctors, they see how many you can do in a minute or so. So I'm not gonna worry about it. I don't want you to worry about it. I want you to just do as many as you can. Now you can put your arms out. Let me see if I put my arms up, if I can do it. 1, 2. Now that's good for your quads because they're the one lifting you up. 3, 4, 5. Let me do this. 6. I think it makes it too easy. 7, 8, 9. And you're squeezing your butt when you go up. 10. Yeah, this one's good. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 22 is the goal. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah. Woo. How many did you do? How many did you do? Oh, sit to stand. How many did you do? Whew. Maggie, your next life will be powerful, so needed. Oh, good, thank you. Thank you for the community. So needed. Yeah, seriously. Denise, thank you so much. All right, we talk about aging. There are different ways to age. If you're gonna be a person who's gonna sip margaritas, saying you're just gonna go to the beach and just relax, listen, you can do some of that, but it can be your lifestyle, right? I still not going on vacation. Like I want to go to Kenya and I want to go, but I want to wait to see. I like to watch the weather because I just do not like hitting those storms on the plane. And the way these planes are acting up these days, oh Lord, you know, we all kind of worried. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 hours. Woo. Yeah. And then I can't wait to go back to Peru. I have a special love for Peru. That food, I say, if you're looking for me, you don't find me, I'll be in Lima. Or maybe Cusco. I don't know. Cusco is at 11,000 feet of elevation, and I struggled. My heart was pumping on my chest. The height and reduced oxygen, it's real, okay? I saw people struggling, people who were in worse shape than me, and I was worried. And they said in Cusco, the hotels have oxygen for people to come. People have passed out. I'm like, oh, where? I know. And you know, I'm a COVID baby, so I have to be careful, and listen to my body. I'm pretty sure my lungs have had some damage from COVID, so I can be walking around like nothing's happened. Woo! You need to do these. Ow! They are so good for your core. You don't need me to be coaching you to do those twists, okay? Keep doing them. And you know what I like when I was in that shape a couple of years ago? It was my waistline was defined again. I had lost it. I'm like, where's my waist? Where's my waist go? And the height of my weight gain, I couldn't lace my shoes. You couldn't, like Cheryl Underwood, the lady on TV, when after she lost the weight, she said, I'm gonna do something I haven't done for 16 years. I'm gonna cross my legs. Because when you have that much fat here, you can't cross your leg. Oh, I tell you, I think that's what I worry about. That when people are doing the yin yang, you lose the weight, you gain it, and a little more. You lose the weight, it does something to your psyche. You get to a point you're like, well, forget that. I'm just gonna eat, right? There is a danger of saying that. And of course, not all of us struggle with that. Some people never struggle with their weight like Madiwa. She's in great shape, but that doesn't mean everything is good. Doesn't mean that she is in shape. You've heard that. Just because you're skinny doesn't mean that you're healthy. No, ma'am. No. So that's why I don't envy people who are skinny, because a lot of time it's just family, history, it's genetics. I know people who are skinny and fighting really bad diabetes. Okay? And of course, obesity is a risk factor for diabetes. We know that. But don't look at yourself and say, oh, I'm not overweight. Everything's hunky dory. Don't do that. You could have a blood pressure that is killing your kidneys without you knowing it. Kidney damage is real. I have had to dialyze my 24-year-old patient who has a history of high blood pressure, never got the high blood pressure checked, and then the whole time your kidneys are paying the price. That's why they call hypertension the silent killer. Sometimes we used to do like, what do you used to call that? You're gonna have a health fair, right? You do a health fair and people come in and we're checking their blood pressure. I have had to call the ambulance on many people. The young man walks in and his pressure is 220 over 125. Hey, that's a stroke waiting to happen. No, no, no. But do you feel fine? Yeah, I feel fine. Not everybody has a headache when the stroke is happening. Some people do, but not everybody does. So don't, you know, stick to those things. I'm a nurse practitioner. I have my blood pressure cuff. I say shamefully, I have not gone to a doctor. I told Dr. Duncan I would be coming to get the hormone panel. I'm very curious about seeing where my hormones are. Um, but I know that if something was amiss, that I would need to find help. But here in Panama, or if you are like in Mexico, Greta, it's good to touch base with the medical provider at least one time, so that when something happens to you, here, the first thing you do is call your doctor. Okay? All right. Let's do some chest press because I don't have weights. I'm using those to tighten my arms. Okay? All right, let's go. Oh no, chest press. I said chest press and I was planking. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can you feel it? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Oh, ow. I couldn't hold for too long. Stretch, 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 stretch. If you tighten the muscle, you have to take the time to elongate them. You make them pliable and elastic. And they're a lot, because all that oxygen is flowing to them, it's going to be a lot easier to reshape. Let's do some planks. Low planks. All right. And stay there as long as you can. Breathe. Whew. This is a good one today. I feel it in my lower abs, my back, my butt, whew, and of course my arms. All right, a few more seconds. Oh, all right. Okay. All right. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Whew. Are you feeling warm? Are you feeling good? I am still feeling good. All right. You know, I was thinking, now Greta mentioned doing the live. I was thinking of doing the dementia for my ladies. We have a monthly educational meeting. But for the live, if I want to talk about dementia, I would want to have a guest. I might have to reach out to some of my teammates who are working in the industry. I don't know, there's a girl, I might have her on, so she's a practitioner too. So that way, it's not just me. Because when I left my last job, I was training her to come on and take my position. So she's probably doing it now. And she went and got her certification in mental health. That's a good idea. Thank you, Madiwa. So we want to do, I don't have a speaker yet, a guest yet for our roundtable. So I got to think about it. So if you guys can think while you're watching me, any subject you'd like to see addressed that affects, aging and older people. I talked about emergency preparedness, and I think nutrition, most everybody really understand. If you don't do it, it's not because you don't know, because you don't want to, or your will is not that strong, right? Um, Malvina came and talked to us about, again, health and contamination and cleanliness. Ooh, oh, this is good. This is a good one. Ugh. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wow, that's a good one. 6. You see how I create this thing as I'm talking to you. 8, 9, 10. Whew. I said I better stop before I hear something I'm not supposed to hear. And I know you guys can hear it too because we live. Oh my, you're so silly. All right. You know, every time we meet, we are going to do our Kegel kettle exercises for our bladder because as we age, that bladder muscle loses its tone, and that's why you have to rush to the bathroom. Uh, you know, there's one sister I was out with her the other day, and she has the urgency. So I hope she's doing these exercises with me. So even if you have, look at that, this thing is wet because I'm sweating so much. Even if you have your one leg up, but you can still go in, you pull, and hold, pull. And then the time you're pulsing, you tighten, 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 tighten. Now the reason this is good, it protects your lower back. When you're like this, there's a tendency to arch, and you don't want to do that. You want to constantly, consciously, you might have to curve in a little bit to put your lower back on the floor, right? All right. You see my heels? My heels are on the floor. It's not my legs are not because again, I think it puts pressure on your lower back. Just get on your heel and then put your hand on the tummy and then we're gonna pulse. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Take a deep breath in. Hold, pulse. You should feel it, pulse. Because remember, we have to get under this layer of fat. Pulse. Whew. Yes. And when we tighten, we're not just tightening the bladder muscles, we're also trying to get underneath the fat here. Okay? This is my best friend. It refuses to go home, and I want it to go home, but it refuses to. And then I can feel it here. And when I lose weight, this shrinks. That's why you can spot check. If you're doing this workout, you're doing intermittent fasting, and I really should go walk in the evening. I haven't this week at all. But let's see. I'm going to make me do that. Yeah, I might walk tonight. All right? But if I do that, I think it's going to help. All right, let's tighten again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, pulsing. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Woo! And when I was pulsing, I was pulling these two hands up towards the ceiling. Let's do one more set. Let's stretch the muscle. Again, you tighten, you stretch. You tighten, you stretch. And when I am in the best shape, right here, I'm going to be able to feel my hip bone. Right now, it's covered in that layer of fat. This is the most tenacious type of fat, mesenteric. I don't know, but go home, leave me alone. All right, ready? In, pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 26, 28, 30. Whew. I stopped at 30 because I didn't want to put that much pressure on my neck. Remember, you're a woman of a certain age. You got to protect your vertebrae in your joints. Okay? All right. Yeah. Back up. We are. Whew. I think we should be good in terms of. Oh, stretch, stretch, stretch. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Grab your toes. Oh, go down if you can. Oh, that feels so good. These are the back of the legs. Your bind, your spine. You need to check and stretch it. Oh, whew. So good. All right, ladies. This is so true. Skinny, you got it. Skinny doesn't mean you're healthy. And I tell people, don't just walk around, with your nose up in the air because you see another sister is struggling. You get to menopause, you're gonna struggle with something. If it's not depression, it's anxiety, it's sleeplessness, something. Okay. So we got to retrain our body and retrain our mind and not give in because we're living to be 100 now. So, how are you going to age? That's what you want to ask yourself. All right. We're just going to stretch for a couple of minutes. Now, think if you have any questions, I'll hang around for like 5 minutes. Up and down. Inhale. Exhale. Whew. Good. Inhale. And pull, 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 pull. And then go down, grab your ankle, put your hand on the floor if you can. I can do my fingers, not my palm, but that's okay. You feel all that good stretch. And then lift up, look straight. It's for your back. Round, release, round, release, over. Oh, so good. And then turn and look to the sky. That's the yoga pose. And up and over. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Turn. Look to the sky. Wow. So good. Ugh. So good. All right. Stretch the hip joint. Stretch the hip. This is your most precious commodity right here. It holds your whole top of your body. And then bend, then come up and move your ankles. Oh, good. All right. Turn straight. Stretch the hips. Oh, and the quads. Bend. Whew. And then go up. Oh, it's like you're stretching this whole thing. And then your ankle. And then one last. Here we go. Oh, let's see. I like this one too. When you pull it over. Whew. Wow. Okay, I'm proud of myself today. That was a good one. Did you enjoy this workout? Did you enjoy it? Greeting a live navigation body through sciatica. Be careful, okay? Be careful. Just do a little bit more each day. And I promise you, you're going to wake up one day, you're going to say, oh my God, I'm doing this. And even it's the same thing as the body reshaping. I'm struggling, but if I keep doing it and one day I wake up, I put my clothes on and I'm like, wow, this feels different. Yeah, consistency is the key. And I do believe a lot of things happen to our bodies at night while we sleep. I do believe that for a fact. All right, guys, it felt good. I'm glad. You come from a skinny family Yes, Mudiwa, I love you though, but some of us struggle. Thank you, video Denise. Thank you for joining us. Creating, creating patlip, patip. Okay, very scary. My mom have it. Oh, the dementia. You know there is a familial link. It tends to run in families, so be careful. Be aware. And I think the one that is scariest for dementia is the early onset one, where people are diagnosed in their 40s. That's the scary part, right? The Louis body that, what is that? That guy have who used to do the action movies, Demi Moore husband. This is the thing. I know who he is, but his name is not coming straight to me. Mm. And there are different types of dementia, right? But if you start acting weird and your family gets concerned, you get lost in um, familiar um, settings. We've all gone to a room and say, okay, what did I come in here for? That is not what we're talking about, okay? And remember that there is a normal aging process that you misplace your keys, like I'm forgetting some names, but I'm functioning, okay? The problem when we start worrying is when people are unable to do the basic things they used to do, like cook, maintain a house, get dressed. We call those activities of daily living. And that's why when you go to a doctor to get, and I don't want to give out all my information now, to give you a diagnosis of dementia or Alzheimer's, they ask a lot of questions because the person themselves may not be able to answer the question, but people who live with them, who interact with them will say, oh, yeah, I noticed this change. One of my jobs in my past life used to be doing classes for caregivers of people with dementia. And then a lot of times I do a questionnaire and I say, well, you were diagnosed when? They said, 6 months ago, and they've been dealing with it because it's a progressive disease and it doesn't get better. And then I'm like, was that the first time you noticed something was wrong? And they're like, no, we noticed that 2 years ago. We knew something was going on. But either the person themselves are in denial because that's the first thing we all do. Oh, yeah, no, nah, right? And then the family started noticing things way before it got to the point where they can see it and the person can't function. So it's super important. And then, we can't stick our head in the sand. When I was a younger nurse, I remember going to a seminar and dementia, Alzheimer's. I was a nurse for 40 years. I'm talking about maybe 30 years ago. And people were not comfortable talking about it as with Bruce Willis. Thank you, Diana. Uh, People were not comfortable talking about it, right? It was this hush thing. So, and I remember it was a room packed of people, and I was standing, by the door. And he said, well, I'm going to give you this little assessment to do. Do you forget this? Do you do that? And I'm like, yes, 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 yes. When I answered yes to all of them, I ran out. I'm like, I'm not listening to this. And I was so much younger. The denial, don't want to know. So it's like I said, we are getting older and we know that we're going to have the knee pain, like my good friend Greta, things happen, we have stroke and stuff. But the one thing I feel in my practice that people worry about the most is the loss of brain function, the loss of getting to a point where you forget who your grandchildren are, where you forget, you step outside and you don't know where you are or where you're going. I was telling you earlier, I started to tell you, there was something in the news here in Panama. This gentleman, he got lost. The family couldn't find him, and they live close to like a forest. Really, I mean, lots of woody space. And the police looked for that man for 7 days. Now, yesterday, way past where his home is, they found a body. And then the police said, we think that's him, right? And I remember when they were interviewing his family, and the daughter was like, my dad is alive, my dad is alive. You know what? I'm just such a um, rational person. Sometimes it scares me and it scares people. They always say, "Oh, why do you say it like that? You don't care. You don't have to be so blunt." I'm sorry. That's just the way I am, right? So even if it was my family, my mindset, because I know I would have said he probably had dementia. Maybe the family did not know what he had and did not understand the danger of allowing him to go in and out. Because I can tell you how many of those people get lost. And when you are in a forest, you demented, you don't know where you are. I'm thinking wild animals, snakes, all kinds of things could have attacked this poor man. No food, no shelter, cold. It's horrible to think about it. We, even in the nursing home where I worked, people would sneak out. People have crossed the road and gotten hit by cars. This is not something to play with. And the more information that you have, the better it is so that you yourself check yourself out. That's what I said. If I forget Bruce Willis's name and it comes to me like 5 minutes later, at least, because if I see him, I know who he is. But when you lose that connection that you can't even recognize something, you pick up a cup and you look at it like you have no idea what to do with it. You look at that. If you take somebody with dementia, let's say, to dinner, I don't know if you remember that movie about the guy. And I said that's another thing. I forgot the name of the movie, but I know it's the movie Ryan Gosling. Was it Ryan Gosling who played in it? Where the guy, it was they were doing like a comparison from now to before when they were younger, when the man moved into the facility with his wife who had advanced dementia. That was one thing. And then there was another movie about this guy going to lunch with his family. And then they had like a plant in a corner. And he just walked over to the plant, opened his pants, and started peeing. You got to remember that? Yes. Because you have no connection with what you're doing. You're just going by your needs for the moment. It is. And then when they get to that stage, when they get combative and they get verbally abusive, and they're angry, they can lash at you, they can hurt you. It's not pretty. So, this is something that the older you get, the higher your risk, unfortunately. Like your risk for heart attack, strokes go up. Same thing with the brain, because the brain is aging too. Okay? You felt the pain. Oh, Modiwa, I'm so sorry. You can go into your tub with some baking soda, Epsom salt, Epsom salt, and loosen up those joints. I always say, just do what you can. Just push it a little bit, but never to the point of pain, okay? All right, guys. I knew some people that had it. Yeah, but when you see somebody young have it, it's even sadder, and they go out quicker than the happy 85-year-old whose brain is aged and then she's just happy. She's not progressing as fast as somebody who's young. And they're doing a lot more. You can test it. They do a spinal tap, and they can see those proteins in there. So there is hope to diagnose, but we still don't have treatment. Nope. All right, guys. Any other questions? Or I'm going to go off because I think the handyman is just texting me. We're supposed to service the AC units today. All right, guys. Tomorrow is Friday. Is it tomorrow? No, today's Friday. Today's Friday. All right. Yes. Once you start forgetting what day it is, this is like ding, ding, ding. Today's Friday. I'm still here. I'm good. The knees, yeah. Be careful with the knees, okay? Like, I don't know if I told you, when I was like maybe 20 years ago, if I were doing those squats, it was like my knee would, I'm like, oh my God, if I could inject some oil or something in it. But now they don't do it, so I don't know. I don't know. Because there's always a chance of regeneration in our bodies. We didn't used to believe that, but that's the case. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. a shower, a soak, whatever, maybe a good smoothie or something. I'm going to have an iced coffee with Madiwa today. I'm having that iced coffee. I've been craving it. But no bread. Feliz fin de semana, Diana. Muchas gracias. A ti también. Yeah, my Spanish class went well yesterday. I had three ladies, two ladies. Two of them could make it. And in my Saturday class, I have 7. So it's fun. All right, guys. God bless you. I love you all. Bye.